Jai Shri Ram. I'm going to give you the summary of this wonderful book, which I think every human being should read, especially Hindus, because we sadly have lost our capacity for critical thinking. Okay, so this is the book, Critical Thinking Tools for Taking Charge of Your Professional and Personal Life. The authors are Richard W. Paul and Linda Elder. Now this is the back cover of the book, Critical Thinking. Get smarter in every part of your life. They say practical skills for thinking more clearly, making more effective decisions. Okay, the world is getting more complex every day, and there's only one way to cope. Get smarter. Thinking more effectively gives you greater control over your life, helps you overcome adversity, and makes it easier to transform your dreams into reality. So this is a wonderful book. I strongly recommend that you get yourself a copy. So here is the barcode. You can definitely get one. I'll now give you a brief summary of this wonderful book. In the preface, the authors write, the mind is its own place, and in itself can make a hell of heaven or a heaven of hell. Well, that's a quote of Milton from Paradise Lost, and that's so very true. Your mind can make a hell out of heaven or a heaven out of hell. It all depends on your mind, right? Remember, the only thing that's bothering you is your mind, actually. Okay, so if you can control your mind and change your thinking, you can now take a look at the contents. These are the contents. So I don't have to read it for you. So this is a wonderful book, and it's a book that has to be read slowly so that you digest it fully and really improve your critical thinking abilities, so that you don't waste your time believing all kinds of irrational things. You know, the quality of your life depends on the quality of your decisions, and the quality of decisions depend on the capacity for critical thinking. It's as simple as that. So you look at the contents, the standards for thinking, design your life, the art of making intelligent decisions, taking charge of your irrational tendencies. That's a very, very interesting chapter. So monitoring your sociocentric tendencies, developing as an ethical reasoner. There are too many people in this world who believe all kinds of cults and indulge in grossly unethical behavior and try to rationalize. So at least we shouldn't belong to such cults. So please spend some time, read carefully. These are the names of the chapters. I'm sure you are able to read. And this is the 16th chapter, you can see. And the index is very impressive. You see, the index will give you an idea of the extent of research that the authors have done. So this is the index. I'll give you a brief look at that. So there are many, many interesting concepts which you learn from this well-researched book, and that should definitely make a difference to your life. These are the authors. Richard W. Paul, Director of Research and Professional Development at the Center for Critical Thinking and the Chair of the National Council for Excellence in Critical Thinking. He has authored 6 books and more than 200 articles on critical thinking. Wow. And then Dr. Linda Elder is an educational psychologist, president for the Foundation for Critical Thinking and executive director of the Center for Critical Thinking. So I do not know why we do not have any such Center for Critical Thinking. They have a Center for Critical Thinking, and unless we too have our Center for Critical Thinking, there are far too many people wasting their lives believing all kinds of things which are a drain on their resources. And as a result, people are not able to achieve all that they can achieve. I strongly feel that this book can help you achieve your highest potential, because then you will be able to declutter all those things that are there in your mind and which are actually stumbling blocks, preventing you from being a fully self-actualized individual. Now, this is a poster I made, uh, extracting some diagrams from the book, so that it becomes easier for a person to understand how valuable this book is, and so that you will be motivated to get yourself a copy and give it a thorough reading. So here you see Krishna is also there, because Krishna is the ultimate cognitive scientist, and Bhagavad Gita will actually equip you with the best kind of critical thinking ability. Anyway, these people have done us a favor by writing this wonderful book. So now you take a closer look at the poster I've created so as to create a summary of this book. So your thinking controls you. So do you control your thinking? And then you say traits of the disciplined mind: intellectual integrity, humility, sense of justice, perseverance, fair-mindedness, confidence in reason, intellectual courage, intellectual empathy, and intellectual autonomy. All these are very interesting concepts which every human being should really learn about and understand them. Otherwise, we're going to waste a lot of our time. And these are the traits of the undisciplined mind: intellectual hypocrisy, arrogance, unfairness, laziness, complacency. You see, intellectual laziness. People think that whatever they believe is right for many reasons. They don't check up whether what they believe and think is probably fallacious. Fallacious, faulty. So, intellectual distrust of reason, disregard for justice, intellectual cowardice, that is truly bad. Don't have the guts to question your fundamental beliefs, in fact, your own religion. Unfortunately, many of the religions in the world today are founded on very weak wickets. This book will shatter all your cobwebs, mental cobwebs. So in this book you will find nice charts like this. You see, skilled reasoners, they are clear about the question they are trying to settle. Unskilled reasoners are often unclear. Critical reflections. Am I clear about the main question at issue? Am I able to state it precisely? So this is how they have structured the diagrams in this book, making it very easy for us. In case if you are a person who cannot spend too much time reading, at least these charts that are there are wonderful. This particular picture about the standards, the elements and intellectual traits, intellectual humility, autonomy, integrity, I think we talked about this earlier. So these are intellectual traits. Do your own research, get your book and try to understand, have you really acquired these traits? And pathological tendencies of the human mind. So egocentric memory. Egocentric means basically being selfish and self-serving. Whatever suits you, you start believing that and promoting that, and being opinionated and stubbornly insisting that you are right in spite of contrary evidence. So, egocentric myopia, egocentric righteousness, hypocrisy, egocentric oversimplification. So, egocentric blindness, egocentric immediacy. The egocentric immediacy is the natural tendency to overgeneralize immediate feelings and experiences, so that when one event in our life is highly favorable or unfavorable, all of life seems favorable or unfavorable. So this is one of the biggest problems with most people you come across these days. They overgeneralize and they indulge in this egocentric immediacy and egocentric absurdity, not knowing that you are actually thinking in a grossly irrational manner. So once again, take a good look at the poster I created for myself, and I strongly recommend that you get yourself a copy of this wonderful book. Before I sign off, take a good look. This is the name of the book, and the authors' names are also given there. Jai Shri Ram.